Here's what happened then, round 14 of the FI Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Czech Republic and Lockett. MX2 Race 1, over on the left-hand side, Kaz Volk chasing that dry line all the way to the first turn as Simon Langenfelder grabbed the foxhole shot ahead of Mathis Vallant, Guillaume Perez, Sascha Kunin, Kai de Wolf and Andrea Adamo were parked a little bit further back behind the 18 of Valerio Latta, but quickly Simon Langenfelder started to flex his muscles and establish himself. Another rider who tried to get in there early as well was the 19 of Sascha Kunin, round the outside of the Spaniard and into second, and we thought there'd be a Red Bull KTM 1-2 battle at the head of the field, but Langenfelder had other ideas. So too did Mathis Vallant, moved into third place with that move on the 99 of Ferrez. And Thibaut Beneston was there in that fourth position for a while. Kai de Wolf though, he threw it away. He went from 8th down to 11th. That was on lap 4. And Adamo also fell from 7th, briefly getting passed by Kai de Wolf, but he managed to stay just ahead, and that was crucial because he was able to execute moves towards the end of the race, especially when people like Thibaut Beneston started making mistakes like that. Adamo then got the better of Valerio Latta as he moved into 5th, and that is where the Italian would stay. And a lap later, Kai de Wolf also did the same to the number 18, exact same move. The 18 went to the inside, the 1 went to the outside. De Wolf came home in 6th. The big winner though, the big gain, Simon Langenfelder extending his lead over all of his rivals. A comfortable win in race 1 from Sascha Kunin, Vallant, Ferrez and Adamo. De Wolf was 6th. MX2 Race 2, and it was a flying start from the centre of the gate for the 317 Mathis Vallant Kawasaki Racing Team. He hugged the line over the foxhole shot line for the first time in his MX2 career. Andrea Adamo was right there in second as a few riders sprawled themselves across the deck through that first turn. Adamo there in second, Valerio Latta was there in third. A couple of triumphs in there around about 5th, 6th, 7th place. Not a good start for Kai de Wolf, who was on a mission to try and make up lost time and lost points in the championship as Perez sided his way down the inside of Carlos Reixelis. That put himself into 5th. Simon Langenfelder, who had a steady start to this race, eventually went around the outside of Valerio Latta. That put him into 3rd on lap 3. Meanwhile, at the head of the field, Adamo around the outside of the whole shot star and early race leader Vallant to take over the lead. And de Wolf in the thick of it as well, found his way past both triumphs as he eventually came home to 4th position. Langenfelder moved into 2nd, had some work to do on the descent, but he did outbreak the Frenchman to take over that 2nd place. But it was Adamo who controlled the race pretty much from the start. His 6th race win of the season, Langenfelder across the line 2nd, Vallant 3rd. But the overall Grand Prix victory belonged to Langenfelder, Adamo 2nd, and Vallant 3rd.
Wasn't easy the 2nd race. Took some stones, but yeah, I could make my passes. Was quite difficult to find some new lines because of the lack of traction.
In MXGP Race 1, look over on the left-hand side, Tom Cock getting over the gate, immediately going for that hard dirt to the outside as he came out in around about 6th place, but it was a fight for the whole shot between Kunin and Panzer. By the time they straightened up, it was the Belgian who led the way. Panzer, though, with a crucial start. He was in that 2nd position. Gifting was there in 3rd, Vevra 4th. Vevra couldn't find his way quickly past Gifting on the Yamaha either. Took him till 3 laps to find his way past the Swede. Fernandez there on the 27 prototype Honda in 5th place. This was the eventual moment that Febvre found his way by, but even still he had to work for it as they tipped into that left-hand turn. That was Febvre up to third. He then went after Jan Panzer. Gifting got caught there by Fernandez, who was following every move that Roman Febvre was putting out on the racetrack. Bottom of the hill, that was Seawer up the inside of Gifting as he moved into 5th on lap 9. He would fall a little later on in the race down to 11th. And then he would have to work hard again to find his way back to 8th by the time the checkered flag fell, Jeremy Seawer. Jan Panzer from the very first lap in 2nd, keeping the championship leader behind him until about 2 laps to go when Febvre muscled his way past. A few corners later, Fernandez also went by into 3rd. Panzer was down there in 4th, but he would get some good news on the final lap because Febvre would fall from 2nd to 5th. That would put Fernandez up to 2nd, Panzer up to 3rd, and that is where the mistake came from Roman Febvre. Lucas Koenen, though, 16 seconds to the good when he crossed the line for his 11th victory of the season. Fernandez 2nd, Panzer 3rd, Koldenhoff and Febvre down there in 5th.
Spousta let se z Dukly Praha jste se nazávodili, tak Knihošovice letos vlastně na jaře museli...
Někoho, kto stratil občiansky preukaz, je to Olga Flatínková. Tam nájdeš Olga Flatínková svoj občian.
The second MXGP race, and it was Roman Febvre and Glenn Koldenhoff who disputed the foxhole shot, but it was the Hoff for the 5th time this year on the Fantic as he railed the outside. There's about a half a wheel in it as they emerged through the turn. Look at that, Ruben Fernandez just getting held up at the back there. He was 2nd in race 1. He would put on a hard charge to get back to 7th place. Up front, though, it was Hoff, Febvre and Lucas Koenen. The first to strike was Febvre as he moved past the Dutch rider to take over the lead on lap 3. Panzer, who was 3rd in race 1, he fell from around about 6th place. He'd eventually come home lower down the order in 16th, but it's been an impressive performance from the Slovenian. Lucas Koenen forced his way up the inside of the Hoff. A lap earlier, he rehearsed the move. This time around, he made it stick. That put him into 2nd position. Glenn Koldenhoff would come over the line in 3rd. A good hard charge through the field for Ruben Fernandez. That move on Jago Kietz put him 7th with 2 laps to go. Fernandez would eventually come home in 7th, but just missed the podium. Roman Febvre would win race 2 from Lucas Koenen. Glenn Koldenhoff, Isaac Gifting, a fantastic 4th, with Valana in 5th. And the overall Grand Prix belonged to Lucas Koenen, Febvre and Koldenhoff.
Yeah, I mean, it was good, happy to come out first and also getting some points because I wasn't expecting it because I was really taking care on the track, and that second motor I felt good, had arm pump, then I made some mistake and then I regrouped.